In this video, I'm going to show you the most realistic way to make 10K per month with Amazon KDP. Now, this absolutely works because I've done it myself, as well as I've taught over 1,400 students of mine make money with KDP. Now, this is not a get rich quick scheme. It's going to take some time and effort because this is a real business. But if you're watching this and you're one of the few people that can actually stick to something for a consistent period of time, then this can absolutely change your life. So let's get started. And real quick, I've created a 7-day challenge where I'll walk you through the brainstorming, writing, and publishing your very first book in just 7 days. It is an amazing challenge. Everyone who've gone through it is absolutely loving it. And at the moment, it is completely free. Now, I will charge for this in the future, very, very soon, in fact. So if you want to grab this while it's free, then check out the link in the description below. All right, so first I want to quickly go over who I am because, if you're trying to do something, you should be learning from someone who's done it before, right? So I built my first Amazon KDP account to multiple 6 figures a year. I ran that for multiple years, made a lot of money with it, and I eventually sold the first account for $820,000. This is a screenshot of that account that you can see here for proof, okay? I then started another KDP account, which already hit 20K per month, and it's growing from there. That is cool that I'm getting results myself, but more importantly, I've helped over 1,400 members do the same. This is a recent Amazon KDP meetup that I've done in Bangkok, Thailand. Not every single person here is my student, but the majority of them are. And crazy enough, over half of this table is doing at least 10K per month. Some of them are even doing over $50,000 in a month. And I have many more students that are doing that in my program. So hopefully that shows you that if you stick to the plan, it works, right? So now let's get into the most realistic path to 10K a month with Amazon KDP. Now this is going to be an absolute no BS video. It's not going to be one of those YouTube fake guru, hype videos where it's like you can make 10K per month easy in 3 minutes a day or something, right? It is not going to be the complete free way of doing this. It's also not going to be the easiest way, okay? I'm going to show you the most realistic way to make money with Amazon KDP. This is the path that has the highest chance of success, okay? Now, if you follow this plan, at the end of it, you will have a 6-figure KDP brand that is built to last. You will have something that's not just gonna make money short term, but a real business that's gonna make you money for years and years to come. Because there are a lot of changes happening in the Amazon space that we need to adapt to, right? AI is changing the game. There's a shift happening from publishing a lot of books, from quantity to quality focus, right? And the Amazon algorithm is constantly changing. So with these changes in mind, this is how you win in KDP right now. So first I want to start with what I call phase 0. This is the reality check. And I'm going to be absolute no BS with you here, okay? If you have no money to invest in a business, everybody says they don't have any money to invest, right? Absolutely zero money. Honestly, guys, you should get a job instead of trying to do this for free. Because yes, you can build Amazon KDP for absolutely zero money by doing everything yourself. It is not the ideal way. It is not the fastest way. And quite frankly, I've never met anyone who came in not wanting to risk any of their money, right? Trying to do everything for free and became successful. At least if we're talking, 10K a month as a success metric. Like if you want to just make 10 bucks a month, $100 a month, then you can probably do it for free, right? But if we're talking big success, life-changing income, right? Replacing your job, you really have to be okay with investing money into your business. So what we recommend is to aim to have a minimum of $2,000 to $5,000 to invest in number one, education, right? Courses, program, coaching, producing these books, and also marketing. Obviously, if you have more, that's great, but it's not necessary, okay? Now, if you're watching this and you're saying, oh my gosh, Sean, that is so much money, right? I don't have that kind of money to invest. And you live in the first world country, then you have a problem. Because if you live in the first world country and you don't have this money, you have absolutely zero excuses. Your issue is not the fact that you don't have the money. Your issue is most likely priorities, not income. When I was 21 and I started this business, I was living with 5 roommates. I had this super tiny room that I was renting in Hawaii, one of the most expensive places to live in the US, right? I think it's like the 3rd most expensive after New York and California. And I was making $1,800 a month working my full-time job, and yet I was saving about $800 a month, which means I was living off of $1,000 a month with rent, transportation, food, everything included. I was living like complete crap so that I can save as much money as possible to invest in my business. I picked up extra shifts. I worked 2 jobs, 1 full-time, 1 part-time. I literally didn't take a day off for like 17 days straight. I worked every single holidays Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, anything. The thing is, too many people want a certain result without the sacrifice that comes with it, right? If you don't live in the first world country, then I understand a little more on, why money is tight. And you want to try doing everything for free. Like my friend who lives in India, he was making $150 a month working a full-time job in India. So what he did is he spent an year and a half writing his book because he absolutely didn't have the money. He spent a year and a half writing the book, right, himself, and he spent his entire month's salary, $150 on a book cover just for that book to flop. So after a year and a half, that book didn't make any money, but he kept going. He didn't quit. And now he's making over $50,000 a month living in India. He's like killing it. So bottom line is it's possible to do everything for free, but it's not ideal, especially if you live in the first world country. Just get a job, make some extra money so that you can invest in the business and grow this faster. And if this is too much for you, if you can't even find a couple $1,000s, building a business is probably not for you. Like I said, guys, this video is the most no BS, me just being completely real with you guys. Next, let's talk about time commitment. So you need at least 1 to 2 hours per day consistently to build a business. Obviously, if you have more, that's great. But at minimum, 1 hour a day is what I want, okay? If you don't have the time, please look at your social media screen time, like how much you're on social media every single day. I guarantee you it's more than an hour, okay? So can you just cut 1 hour of your social media usage to invest in a business? And you need to stick to this for at least 6 months, ideally a year, right? But at minimum, 1 hour a day for 6 months straight. Once again, if you're watching this and you think this is too much, you should probably reconsider building a business, because I really do not think you're cut out for building a business if you think this is too much. Because all I'm asking here is just 1 hour a day, right? Of maybe waking up 1 hour earlier, staying up an hour later, or just cutting out social media. Everybody has an hour of extra time, right? So it's not that hard, guys. And if you think KDP is the issue, if you're watching this and you're like, oh my God, it's because KDP as a business model is flawed. That the fact that you gotta, have some money to start and invest an hour a day. Maybe other businesses will require, no money and no time to grow this. That's not gonna be the case, okay? KDP is actually one of the cheapest businesses to start, one of the most passive, low investment business to start, one of the most beginner friendly business. So I guarantee you, if you try and hop around different business models to seek something better, you're not gonna find it. So you gotta stop with the excuses, okay? KDP is once again one of the easiest business for anyone. When I say easiest, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying compared to other businesses, it is the easiest, okay? It doesn't matter if English is not your first language, because English is not my first language as well. Japanese is my first language, okay? If you're scared to spend 30 bucks on a book cover, this honestly isn't for you. You do not need prior experience or skills, just the willingness to learn. Just like how I had no skills prior to this, right? And I made it a success. A lot of my students made this a success. My friend in India had no skills, prior experience, making 150 bucks a month, but he was willing to learn. He was willing to invest in the business and now doing 50K a month. Crushing it, right? So like it's possible if you're just willing to stick to it and willing to learn. So the expectations you should have is you want to reinvest all your profits for the first 6+ months if you want to scale, okay? You don't have to do this if you don't want to make 10K a month. If you're just happy with $100 a month, $1,000 a month, that's fine. But if you start taking out profits really early in the business, it's going to be really hard to grow the business because you don't have any capital to reinvest, right? So the longer you can delay gratification and the longer you can put things back into the business, the faster you can get to 10K a month. Then you can start taking out more money, right, from that. So that's exactly what I've done as well. I've reinvested everything for the first whole year. I wasn't taking any profits, okay? And the first few books that you publish will suck no matter what. And instead of quitting there, because most people will approach this business saying, oh, let's just try with one book, when their first book is going to be the worst book that they're ever going to be publishing, right? And they're not going to make any money from it and they just quit. When you should be taking the first couple books as a learning experience and then move forward. You want to fail forward, right? And the last thing is your friends and family is not going to support you. And who cares? Like, who gives a fuck, right? Like, you're doing this for you, not for them. So don't try to seek validation from your friends and family. Don't even tell them that you're building a business. Don't tell them what you're about to do. Tell them what you've done after you've done it, okay? After you make 10K a month, go back and tell them, hey, look, I made 10K a month, okay? Don't go and say, oh, look, I'm gonna start this new business. I'm gonna make this much money, because they're just gonna drag you down. So I just wanted to make this mindset section before we go into the real meat of the tutorial, because I am so sick and tired of all the BS excuses that I'm hearing. And if you're watching this and you're not making any of these excuses, good for you. You're going to be successful because most people are. And that's why they don't see any results. So if you're willing to go through this, you will do very well, like many of my students. All right, guys, with that being said, let's go into phase 1, which are the foundations. Typically, this is the first 3 months of your business. So you want to focus on learning the skills, not making money. Expecting to make money in the first 1 to 3 months. I mean, you will make money, but you're going to be reinvesting it. So technically, you're not taking any profits. And that is normal, okay? You're out of your mind if you think you can get to 10K a month in 3 months or something like that. That's just crazy. Not just in KDP, once again, in every single business model, okay? Now, you want to get a course or a coaching program. I got a coaching program. Obviously, I make these videos to promote that. If you don't want to join the program, if you don't like me, go join somebody else's, okay? Because obviously I want to work with someone that likes me, like my approach, and who's willing to learn and stuff. But either way, it's super important to follow a step-by-step program. Have some kind of mentorship. I honestly do not know anyone who've never taken any coaching program, any courses, and became super successful. Like we're talking 10K or more, right? Once again, you can probably make $100 a month, maybe $1,000 a month without taking any coaching program. But if you want to do more than that, I really don't know anybody. If you want to prove me wrong, you can comment below in this video and say you've done it without any program. But please let me know. Even my friend in India making $150 a month bought a course and then he became successful. Okay. So reinvest all your profits into producing more books. Do not take any profits out for the first 6 months. So the first skill you have to learn is keyword research. This is the most important skill. This skill is going to make or break your business, okay? So you want to validate an idea first, then create a book, not the opposite. This is where everyone messes up, okay? When they enter the business, people have so many ideas of the type of books they can publish, right? So many different topics, but they never go and check if that topic is profitable. So people make a book first, then they try and find people who want the book. And that is the complete opposite, okay? You want to check if anybody even wants that book first, right? Then you go and make a book on it because you know that people are buying it. So there are 2 tools that I recommend. Number 1, this is a free one called DS Amazon Quick View. Look it up in the Google Chrome store, okay? It is completely free. Now, if you want to save some time, there's a paid version called KD Spy. So this is DS Amazon Quick View. Once again, it is free. Just look it up in the Chrome store. Maybe I'll leave a link in the description. And this is KD Spy. So this is a paid tool. It is $79 one time. So it's just a one-time payment. You don't have to pay any more than that, but it will save some time. Now, what they do is show you the bestsellers rank of the book a lot easier. So normally you have to click around to find this number, but just by having the DS Amazon Quick View, it'll start pulling this number right on the search results. So I looked up decluttering. These are decluttering books, and you can see that this book is 3,438 in the bookstore. This one is 92,000. This one is 4,900, and this is from the free one, DS Amazon Quick View. Now, what this number is called the bestsellers rank. Bestsellers rank is Amazon telling you how well this book is selling compared to other books. Okay, so if this is number 1 in the entire bookstore, it is basically the number 1 best-selling book in the entire bookstore. This is 3,400 best-selling book, right? This one in the entire bookstore. So in terms of this number, the lower the better. Now with DS Amazon Quick View, you have to go and check each one by one like this. If you have KD Spy, then you can just click on it and you can get the data of entire page 1 as well as the audiobooks in the Kindle format as well. So you can kind of instantly see the data, which is just going to save you even more time. So in terms of the criteria, you're looking for books that has less than 80,000 BSR in the entire bookstore, which if it's around 80,000 BSR, it's making around $500 a month. So if it's a lot lower than 80,000, it's doing a lot more, okay? If other books are selling well on the topic, it is proving to you that the topic is in demand. So we're essentially looking for proof of concept here. So going back to decluttering, right? So I have this idea of writing a book on decluttering. Okay, so I will look up the keyword. So in my case, decluttering. If you have a book on keto diet, then you'll look up keto diet, right? And then you start looking at other books on it that are profitable. So like this one, 3,000. So this book is doing thousands of dollars a day, right? Like, tens of thousands a month. It's extremely successful. Okay. So if this number is below 80,000, that is a good sign. Okay. So we have one book below 80,000. This one is right above 80,000. So we're not going to count it, but pretty close. This one's way below 80,000. This one's way below 80,000. So a lot of books on decluttering is making a ton of money, which is telling us that decluttering is a profitable topic. And you absolutely have to do this first, because if you don't check the profitability and you spend all the time writing the book, publishing it, if no one wants the book, you're not going to make any sales. All right, so these are the types of books that you can publish. Essentially, pretty much anything. But we categorize in 3 sections: low content, medium content, and high content. Okay. So low content is the journals, planners, notebooks, any kind of books that has very little content. Medium content is something that has a little more text, a little more design. So we're talking coloring books, activity books, and puzzle books, those kind of things. High content is usually nonfiction, full text books, and also fiction books like romance, mystery, those kind of things. Now, why I recommend you to skip low content and go straight into medium or high content is because obviously it has more text, it has more designs, which means it takes a little more time, little more money, little more effort to create these books, which is a higher barrier of entry, right? Which means not a lot of people want to make these books because people are lazy. 99% of the population wants to take the easy way, okay? So if you can be the 1% that says, hey, I'm willing to put a little more work into this, right? Make up a book that's good, then now you have a lot less competition, because most people complaining about saturation and competition are doing the bare minimum, and most people are doing the bare minimum. So now you're competing with most people, okay? So that's what I mean is go for the higher barrier of entry. It's better. Now, you also have higher profit margins, because usually with low content books, you can only sell it for $5.99, $6.99. You're barely making $1 per sale. With, let's say, high content nonfiction books, which are the books that I mainly publish in, you can sell it for $18, $19, sometimes even $20, and you're making $8 to $10 per sale, right? So you're making 10 times more money. And even though you're making 10 times more money per sale compared to a low content book, it's not 10 times harder to sell the book. Okay, so that's why going higher ticket is better. Now, it also has high demand. Obviously, a lot of these niches are very profitable, and also lower competition because less people are trying to publish these books. And the biggest thing with high content books that nobody talks about is that you can sell it in multiple formats: ebook, print, and audiobook. Audiobook is just taking off, and you really should be taking advantage of this, right? Most low content, medium content books like coloring books, journals, you can only publish it as a paperback. So you can only make money in one format. You're missing out on the ebook, you're missing out on the audiobook. Those are super profitable. Now, if you need ideas on what kind of books you can publish, you want to go to the Amazon bestsellers rank and just go off of each categories. Just check each category and see what books you're selling, right? So you can niche down into business and money, arts and photography, cookbooks, food and wine. So I'm just going to do like, let's say health, fitness, and dieting. And you just want to start seeing what kind of books are out there. So, like you want to kind of extract topics, like ask yourself, what is this book about, right? So we have good energy. So it's some kind of like self-help book. And this is a habit book. So a book on habit is, doing really well, right? A book on, I guess, like overthinking is doing really well. So, you can start listing down ideas, right? We have a Barbara O'Neill Natural Herbal Remedies book that's doing really well. I don't know if this is trademarked, so you want to check the trademark as well. But that's what I mean is just getting a ton of ideas from this bestsellers category, and you can niche down even more if you want to. So what I recommend is you find a topic that you are interested in, you're passionate in, that is also profitable. You want both. You don't want to just publish a book just because it's profitable, but you have zero interest in, because it's going to be hard to keep going and keep building this business, because you're gonna get burnt out. But you also don't want to just publish a book that you're passionate about but nobody's interested in, because you're not gonna make any money. So you need that balance. So this is the game plan. Don't publish just one book and see how it goes. Like I said earlier, your first book is gonna be your worst book. So don't determine your success based on your first book, okay? Publish multiple books in the same niche. You want to build a brand, you want to build a series, okay? So you want to publish multiple books in the same niche. Now, keep in mind that your book is a solution to the customer's problems. This is the biggest thing to understand. People buy books because they got a problem that they want to solve, okay? When they buy nonfiction books, when they buy a book on habits, as an example, they probably suck at, productivity. Maybe they're procrastinating, right? So that's why that's the problem that they have, and they want to fix it by reading the habit book, okay? If they buy a weight loss book, most likely because they're struggling with overweight, right? No one who's skinny is going to buy a weight loss book. So you got to identify what is the problem that people are facing, and then try and solve that inside your book. Once you solve one problem, then you want to think, what problem can I solve next? That'll be your book number 2. Then after that, what other problem that is related to this can I solve next? That'll be your book number 3. As an example, book number 1 could be weight loss. But after you successfully help the person lose weight, what's the next challenge, right? Not rebounding back. So, book number 2 could be about how to maintain weight loss, or how to make it more of a lifestyle rather than a quick diet plan, right? So book number 2 could be like maintaining the new weight, right? And after that, what would that person want to do next? Maybe build muscle. So book number 3 could be on building muscle. So that's what I mean is solve related problems one after another. This is an example of someone who's doing that. So this is a productivity series. Number 1, first book is on dopamine detox, right? So it's helping people to pretty much like rewire their brain and not be so addicted to dopamine. Then the second one is a 7-day plan to overcome procrastination, taking more action. The third one is to help them focus better. And then the fourth one is kind of a mindset related to productivity, I guess. But you see how it's related, but slightly different. So the same person will be interested in buying all 4 of the books. So once again, you want to publish at least 3 books in the niche, and keep in mind that you do not have to spend thousands of dollars per book. There are many ways to cut costs, especially with AI, right? Book cover, I highly recommend you outsource. You can spend $100, $200, but if you're just getting started, you can spend a little less. Although I do recommend you don't skimp out on your book cover, right? But just like my friend in India who wrote a book, by himself, there are many ways to cut costs if you don't have the money. You can write the book yourself if you know how to do that. If you do not know how to do that though, you can hire ghostwriters, which is what I do. And the good news is ghostwriters don't have to be super, super expensive. You can hire them between $2 to $3 per 100 words. So what you want to do is you want to aim to get to $500 to $1,000 per month with these 3 books. And before you freak out and say that making $1,000 with 3 books, that is super unrealistic, please understand that that is your reality, not mine. And this is a high content book example, right? So we're talking $300 per book, that includes the ebook, paperback, and audiobook format. Okay, we're not talking low content, medium content book. That's another reason why I think high content is better. And I'm also not talking about pure profit here, right? We want to be spending some money on ads to market it, but it's okay because later on we're going to be talking about optimizing so we can make more profit. Right now, I just want to see some sales coming in. And again, if you think this is unrealistic, that is your reality, not ours, right? This is one of our coaching program student, Randy. So he published his first book, and in the first 10 days, he's made over $568. So it is possible. And this is another one of our students, in the program. I'm blurring the face and the name because I don't want a crap ton of people to DM my students and bother them. But this person made $93,000 in a single month with just 27 books. Okay, so that is a lot more than $300 to $500 per book. So it is definitely possible. So with that being said, phase 2 is optimization. So this is months 4 to 6. So now that we published a couple books, right, we are going to analyze what worked and what didn't. And we want to improve our book quality. So we want to get better covers on our books. We want to get better interiors. We also want to work on getting more professional formatting and slowly improving our book quality, both the existing books that we have, but also future books that we are going to publish, right? And we also want to start building our launch system. So we want to find out a way to get consistent reviews, not relying on luck. Now we have a system that we can rely on and get predictable reviews. We also want to get better at Amazon ads. This is something that you tweak over time. And you want to start building your audience, whether on social media or through email lists, so that you can get, once again, consistent sales and reviews every time you publish a new book. So you want to read your reviews that you're getting from your books and see what you can improve, because they're going to tell you what they like, what they didn't like. So improve that in your book. You want to fix your existing books based on the problems you identified. Make sure that the new book you launched do not have the same problems. And you want to consistently get better at getting reviews and also running ads. And most importantly, I still recommend you do not take profits out. You want to keep reinvesting it back into your business, building the business, producing more books, marketing it better, and just keep growing it. I hit $5,000 a month in 5 months, and I did not take a single penny. I reinvested everything back into the business while I was working a full-time job. So I was living off the full-time job and my business income. Although I could have quit my job and live off of that, I knew that I wanted to grow it even bigger. So I didn't quit my job so soon, right? I reinvested everything, kept growing my business until I hit 10K a month. Then I quit finally, right? But a lot of people just quit way too soon. I don't know why. Maybe they hate their job, but you have to practice delayed gratification. All right, so you're publishing a couple books, all in the same niche. You're doing a good job at solving people's problems, and you're improving your book quality. If you do this right, you're going to start getting raving fans, right? These are the repeat customers. These are the people that's going to buy all of your books, and they will leave a review on every single one. Over time, you're gonna start noticing the same people are leaving reviews on your books, right? Same people are emailing you saying, hey, I love this book and I love this book and I bought all your books. You're gonna get a lot more people like that, okay? Your goal is to get as many of these people as possible. This is how you increase lifetime value. As an example, some of you watching this video may watch every single one of my videos. Maybe you've been watching all my videos for the past, months or even years, which I highly appreciate. So you are essentially my raving fan. And because of people like you, every single video that I post, I can almost guarantee that I'm gonna get a certain amount of views. Well, you can do the same thing with KDP. The bigger the fan base, you know that every time you launch a book, you're gonna get a certain amount minimum of sales and reviews. And that makes it way easier for you to rank your books. This is why the longer you stay in the game, the easier it gets because you're building your audience, right? When you just quit after your first book, of course, it's the hardest. But the longer you're in this business, the longer you keep publishing, you're building these fan base more and more and more, and it gets easier and easier and easier. And you're essentially building a competitive advantage that none of your competitors have. No one can compete with you because you have the audience that no one else has. All right, so for the goal of this phase, you want to get to $3,000 to $5,000 per month. Please do not beat yourself up if you're making less than this. Once again, this is just a goal. Everybody has different speed, different journey, right? So, just go at your own pace, but this is a good benchmark to aim. All right, so phase 3 is scaling, okay? And this is typically months 7 to 12. And the cool thing is, it's more of the same thing. Publishing is not a complicated business model. There's not a lot of things you have to learn. It's just repeating the same step over and over and over. And that's why this is one of the most beginner-friendly business model out there. But you essentially just do less of what's not working and do more of what's working. It's as simple as that. So how do you know which one should you be doing and which one should you not do, right? Well, just let the data tell you. So which books are you selling the most? How can you replicate your bestsellers, right? Which ad campaigns are converting the most? How can you replicate that? What review gathering method is working well? Well, just do more of that and stop doing the ones that are not working. So focus on identifying what's working and figure out how you can do more of that. So if you think about it, in a nutshell, optimizing your business is not that complicated. All you have to do is take a step back and just think, for a little bit, saying what task that I'm doing is producing the most amount of results and what task that I'm spending a lot of time on is not really producing a ton of results, right? Just stop doing the ones that are not really working and do more of what's working, right? Instead of burying your head in the sand and just publishing as many books as you can without stepping back, analyzing the results, and just optimizing from there. So your goal is to increase your lifetime value, okay? You want to make as much money as you can from the same customer. And there's nothing scammy about this, okay? Essentially, the customers will keep buying from you if you keep serving them. They're gonna stop buying from you if you stop serving them. You will stop watching my videos if I stop making good videos, right? And you're just gonna go somewhere else. So I have to keep giving you good value for you to keep coming back. It's the same thing in your books as well. So number one, you want to build out a series, okay? The more series you have, the more books people can buy, which means you make more money from the same person, okay? Number two, expand on new formats such as audiobooks. Some people buy multiple formats of the same book, right? And that is exactly why you should probably do high content books. Number three, you can do additional products. Like you can sell physical products as a backend. I got some students doing like Amazon FBA in the backend, to increase lifetime value even more. You can do courses and coaching as well, right? This is something I teach in the program as well. Affiliate marketing is the easiest, and that's what I teach mainly is to find some affiliate programs that you can promote so that you can instantly increase your lifetime value. Let me give you some example. This is a fiction niche example, but this person, JD Robb, very, very famous author, right? But it doesn't matter. The point that I'm trying to make is she has a 60 book series. This is book 60 of 60, okay? So her in-depth series is 60 book series. So imagine this, right? You hook people in to your writing style. They like the writing style, they like the story, and they go and buy all 60 of her books. Imagine how much money she can make from the same person, because she has so many products that the same person can buy. And you, on the other hand, you just have one notebook as an example. So the max amount of money you can make from the same person is just $1 because you make $1 or less, for a sale on a notebook. So that's the difference in how the pros are playing this game and how you're playing this game, okay? So try and increase your lifetime value as much as possible. Just as a reference, this person, right, JD Robb, for the first 40 books, she has a lot more than 40 books, but for the first 40 books, she's doing over $100,000 a month. This is not even counting the Kemp reads, which is where fiction authors makes most of their money. So I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even $1 million a month, right? Just from this brand, which is insane. This is another example. This is more in the journal space. So if you're doing low content, medium content, this is for you. So they started off with this shadow work journal that took off. This book just blew up, right? So they published a couple new books as well. But on top of that, she's expanding into different products, mainly their apps. So they have a app right now, right? This one, download the app. So now they're making money from more stuff, right? So more than just books. So in the end, scaling is about leverage, okay? How can you do the same work but get 10 times the results? It takes the exact same amount of work to make a sale, but by building out a series or a back-end offers, now you're making 10 times the money, right? Now you went from, just being able to make $2 per customer to 20, 30, 50 bucks, maybe $100 per person or even more like JD Robb over here. And the amount of effort it takes to make a sale for her is the same as for you too. So you want to build systems, right? You cannot be a solopreneur to scale. You can definitely start as a solopreneur. No one's expecting you to hire a bunch of people in the beginning, right? But eventually, if you want to scale to 10K a month or more, you have to build a team. You have to create SOPs for people to follow. You want to act like a CEO, not an employee. Employees do all the work. CEO just tells the team what to do. And they're overseeing things, but they're not actually doing the work themselves. So I spend very little time on my KDP business because my team handles it. Same as my students, right? Because I teach automations and systems in my course so that my students also makes multiple six figures. A lot of them make multiple six figures. Obviously, not every single one. But the top ones make that much, and many of them, barely work, a couple hours a week maybe, because they have a system. So this is how you can get to 10K a month. So realistically, you don't even have to have a crazy system. You don't even have to have a super sophisticated team of people. Like honestly, you can get to 10K a month just by taking massive action and have a couple of your books take off. But overall, this is a good overview of what you should be focusing on. Now, if you made it this far, you're obviously serious about building a KDP business. So if you're ready to take your KDP business to the next level, then I want you to click on the first link in the description below and learn more about my coaching program. It is definitely not for everyone. We certainly do not want to work with you if you're going to make excuses. But if you're willing to take action, if you're willing to apply what we teach you, we do have a pretty great track record of producing success. So if you click on the first link in the description, it'll take you to this page. And if you scroll down, you will see all the testimonials of real students, right? So we have Adara making $40 in her first day after publishing her first book. Josiah's doing $33,000 in a month. We have a lot of students here, like $58,000, best-selling 7,000 BSR, 10K in a month, $1,000, $5,000, 10K, 2,500 in a month from one book, 1K, 9,000, so much, right? A lot. So you can just check it out. A lot of testimonials here. And once again, guys, if you don't want to work with us, if you don't like me, no problem. Just go and join somebody else's course. I do think investing in coaching and mentoring is super important. So if you're serious about this, that's what I recommend. But either way, hope you enjoyed this video. If you want me to do more absolute no BS advice like this video, then let me know in the comments, type no BS, and I will do more of this, okay? Absolute, no fluff, exactly what you need to know when it comes to, making money online. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't yet. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.